Crash course on the French Revolution, what caused it and impacts on the world. The French Revolution was a pivotal moment in world history that transformed the political and social landscape of Europe. The revolution began in 1789 and lasted for a decade, culminating in the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte and the establishment of the First French Empire. The revolution had profound impacts on the world, inspiring similar movements for democracy and liberty throughout Europe and the rest of the world. In this crash course, we will explore the causes, events, and impacts of the French Revolution. Causes of the French Revolution. 1. The French Revolution was the culmination of a long period of political, social, and economic unrest in France. The country was ruled by an absolute monarchy that was plagued by corruption, incompetence, and inequality. The French economy was in shambles, burdened by heavy taxes and debt incurred from expensive wars. The French people were frustrated by the lack of political representation and the abuses of the monarchy and nobility. These factors all contributed to the explosive atmosphere that led to the French Revolution. 2. One of the key triggers of the French Revolution was the bankruptcy of the French government. The monarchy had borrowed heavily to finance wars and extravagant spending, and by the 1780s, the country was in dire financial straits. The government attempted to address the crisis by imposing heavy taxes on the French people, which only worsened the economic situation and caused widespread anger and unrest. 3. Another major cause of the French Revolution was the rise of the Enlightenment, a movement of thinkers and philosophers who championed reason, progress, and individual rights. The ideas of the Enlightenment challenged traditional notions of monarchy and aristocracy and inspired the French people to demand greater political representation and liberty. Events of the French Revolution. The French Revolution began in 1789 with the storming of the Bastille, a symbol of royal tyranny and oppression. The French people had grown increasingly frustrated with the monarchy and the nobility, and they saw the Bastille as a symbol of their oppression. The storming of the Bastille was a pivotal moment in the revolution, and it marked the beginning of a period of intense political upheaval and violence. Over the next decade, the French Revolution saw a series of dramatic events, including the execution of King Louis XVI, the Reign of Terror, and the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. The revolution was characterized by intense political polarization, with factions on both the left and right vying for power and control. The Reign of Terror was one of the most violent and brutal periods of the revolution. During this time, thousands of people were executed for their political beliefs, and the country was racked by violence and chaos. However, the Reign of Terror also paved the way for the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte, who was able to capitalize on the chaos and consolidate his power. Impacts of the French Revolution. The French Revolution had profound impacts on the world, both during and after the revolution. The revolution inspired similar movements for democracy and liberty throughout Europe, including the American Revolution and the Haitian Revolution. The ideas of the French Revolution, such as equality, democracy, and human rights, became the foundation of modern political thought and helped shape the political landscape of Europe and the world. The French Revolution also had a profound impact on the arts and literature. The revolution inspired a wave of creativity and artistic expression, with artists and writers exploring new themes and ideas. The Romantic movement, which emerged in the wake of the revolution, was characterized by a focus on individualism, emotion, and the beauty of nature. One of the most lasting legacies of the French Revolution was the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon was a military genius who was able to consolidate his power and establish the First French Empire. Napoleon's conquests and reforms had a profound impact on Europe, transforming the continent politically, economically, and culturally. One of Napoleon's key accomplishments was his establishment of the Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive legal code that became the basis for modern civil law in France and many other countries. The code abolished feudalism and established the principles of equality before the law, property rights, and religious toleration. The Napoleonic Code had a profound impact on legal systems around the world and helped establish the rule of law as a fundamental principle of modern society. Napoleon's conquests also had far-reaching geopolitical consequences. His military campaigns brought much of Europe under his control, including much of Italy, Spain, and the German states. Napoleon's influence helped to shape the political landscape of Europe for decades to come, and his legacy can still be felt today. However, Napoleon's rule was also marked by a significant human toll. His wars and conquests resulted in the deaths of millions of people, and his autocratic rule stifled political freedom and dissent. Napoleon's ultimate downfall came in 1812, when his ill-fated invasion of Russia resulted in a catastrophic defeat that weakened his hold on power. Despite its flaws and failures, the French Revolution remains one of the most important and transformative events in world history. It was a period of intense social, political, and cultural change that shaped the course of Europe and the world. The revolution inspired a wave of political and social activism that continues to this day, and its legacy can be seen in the modern world's emphasis on democracy, human rights, and social justice. There are many interesting stories and examples from the French Revolution that can help bring the history to life. Here are a few. The Women's March on Versailles. In October 1789, a group of women in Paris marched to Versailles, the residence of King Louis XVI, to demand bread and better living conditions. The march turned into a full-scale riot, and the women were able to force the king to return with them to Paris. This event highlighted the power of popular movements and the growing discontent with the monarchy. The Tennis Court Oath. In June 1789, representatives of the Third Estate, the commoners, met at a tennis court in Versailles and pledged to continue meeting until they had established a new constitution. This act of defiance against the king marked a key moment in the revolution and helped to mobilize support for political reform. The execution of Marie Antoinette. In 1793, Queen Marie Antoinette, the wife of King Louis XVI, was executed by guillotine after being found guilty of treason. Her execution was a symbol of the revolution's rejection of monarchy and aristocracy and marked a turning point in the violence and radicalism of the revolution. The rise of Napoleon. Napoleon Bonaparte was a military leader who rose to power during the chaos of the French Revolution. He was able to consolidate his power and establish the First French Empire, which had a profound impact on Europe. Napoleon's military conquests and reforms transformed the continent, but his rule was also marked by authoritarianism and violence. The legacy of the revolution. The French Revolution had a lasting impact on the world, inspiring similar movements for democracy and liberty around the world. The ideas of the revolution, such as liberty, equality, and fraternity, became the foundation of modern political thought and helped to shape the political landscape of Europe and the world. In summary, the French Revolution had a profound impact on France and the wider world, leading to the abolition of feudalism and the establishment of modern, secular political systems based on the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. However, it also had many negative consequences, including the loss of life, political instability, and the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte, who would go on to become Emperor of France and conquer much of Europe. Here is a historic poem on the French Revolution. In the land of France, a revolution brewed. A storm of change that no one could elude. A cry for justice and equality echoed through the streets with ferocity. The people rose up against their king and stormed the Bastille with everything. They fought for liberty, fraternity, and equality with great tenacity. The monarchy was brought to its knees as the revolutionaries sought to seize power from the ruling elite and forge a new path, a new beat. Robespierre and the Jacobins led the way, with their reign of terror, a price to pay. For those who opposed the revolution, were met with the guillotine's execution. But despite the bloodshed and strife, the revolution changed the course of life. Feudalism was abolished, democracy was born, as France entered a new dawn. The French Revolution, a historic event that shook the foundations of government. A time of passion, of ideals and dreams, that still echoes today in its themes. **** Start planning your next global adventure with ease and convenience with our Booking.com referral link. https://www.booking.com/index.html?aid equals 7989335 is a great choice to plan your next trip. You can find and book flights, hotels, cars, and local attractions all in one place, and their price match guarantee ensures you're getting the best deal. Thank you for kind support our AnHub Metaverse channel, and please watch more interesting videos here.